You know, the fact that we're getting a brand new 2D Metroid, a new WarioWare, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remake, Shin Megami Tensei 5, No More Heroes 3, possibly Breath of the Wild 2 in 2022, and more Nintendo Switch games all throughout 2021 through 2022 is just insane. Nintendo's lineup was already great, but now it's even better. Hey guys, it's Rob here, and welcome back to the Robo-chan Show, where we cover the latest gaming news, leaks, and rumors from Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo in 2020 and beyond. If you want to be kept up on the latest gaming news, make sure you click that red subscribe button below this video and that notification bell so you know when I upload. In this video, we are going to talk about the big Nintendo Switch games from Nintendo's E3 presentation, what wasn't shown like the rumored Zelda 35th anniversary games, and ask the question that everyone seems to be asking, did Nintendo save E3? If you guys enjoy this video, leave a like, it sends signals to YouTube and helps it reach more viewers. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's Roborob93. So E3 is finally over and done with. It feels like we've been waiting for Nintendo to flesh out their release schedule for Nintendo 2021 and Nintendo 2022, and it seems that now we have more than idea than ever on what we can expect on the Nintendo Switch in the next 2 years. The Nintendo Direct opened up with a new Smash Bros. Fighter. This is something that a lot of people wanted to see at this Nintendo Direct, but I think for many Nintendo fans, the character really wasn't what they were expecting, me included. The Nintendo Direct revealed Kazuya from Tekken, and while this is great for Tekken fans, if you wanted Crash Bandicoot or anyone else, this may have let you down, but I do have to say his character moveset does look fun to play as. Now on the 28th of this month at 10 a.m. EST 7 PST, we will be getting a presentation that shows off more of his character set and gameplay and everything that comes with that character. So if you're interested in this new Smash Bros. DLC fighter, make sure you don't miss that stream. Next up, I want to talk about the next game that, if I recall, wasn't so secret before this Nintendo Direct, and that is Super Monkey Ball. This is a collection of Super Monkey Ball games from 1, 2, and Super Monkey Ball Deluxe. I think the reason why we didn't get a new Monkey Ball game is because they're using this remaster as a way to gauge interest in the series. We see this a lot of times with older games coming back. Usually some kind of remaster comes out, and if it does well, we do get a new game down the line. So be on the lookout for a new Monkey Ball announcement in the next 1 or 2 years. And next up, they showed Mario Party Superstars. The cool thing about this game is they basically rebuilt a lot of the classic boards from the older Mario Party games. They even got the Nintendo 64 era of Mario Party. This is really cool, and I bet if you're a fan of these games, you're gonna be excited. Not only that, but multiplayer with matchmaking is included as well. This is something that I think needs to be in every single multiplayer game. Whenever a game excludes matchmaking, it's really frustrating. So the fact that you can matchmake with random players is a nice change of pace. And next up, they showed up with a new Metroid, a 2D Metroid to be exact. This had me extremely excited. The trailer was pretty ominous as well, but in a good way. Samus was being chased by this unknown enemy, and just the way it moved was super creepy. It kind of reminded me of those monster movies or the horror movies like The Ring. Now this game was one of the games that several Nintendo leaks that I've covered in the past, from New Marco Maro to Zippo to a lot of others. The game comes out in October 8th, which is really close and kind of shocked me. Even though the rumors were saying that the game was all but ready, I didn't really expect that part to be true. Now I will be doing a full breakdown later this week, so be on the lookout for that video. And next up, we got more gameplay from Monster Hunter Rise, the more story-focused Monster Hunter. Now up until now, we knew about the story and the characters from the previous showings, but I didn't know that this game was turn-based. I thought it was like the regular Monster Hunter gameplay. I find this really interesting because the only Monster Hunter gameplay that I've been exposed to is the gameplay on Monster Hunter World and the new Monster Hunter game on the Nintendo Switch. So as a fan of turn-based RPG games, I'm all for this. And next up is another surprise and another Nintendo Switch leak that came true, and that's the new WarioWare game. This series has been away for a bit, but now it's back on the Nintendo Switch. A couple new additions to the game is multiplayer, which is really good because the Nintendo Switch is fantastic for multiplayer. Another cool aspect of this is the different characters that you can play as that have different abilities that change the way you solve these minigames. The great thing about this is that it adds replayability to a lot of these minigames. Now, not only that, but WarioWare is going to be coming out on September 10th if you're interested in the game. Next up, they showed more Shin Megami Tensei gameplay. Now, before the Nintendo Direct, they did accidentally update their website on the Atlas website and gave away a lot of information on this game, and it seemed like a lot of that information was correct. I am incredibly hyped for this game. I'm a huge fan of RPG games, and especially the Persona games and the Shin Megami Tensei games. I mean, not only that, but the game was revealed back back when the Nintendo Switch was revealed, and we finally have actual combat footage. This is really good, and I'm really excited. Now, pre-orders for the physical version of this game will be available on June 21st, so if you want to pre-order it, you can mark that date. Now, they did show Mario plus Rabbids, but it was the same trailer that we've already gotten. A bit disappointing that they didn't expand on more gameplay on that game, but I'm excited nonetheless. If you guys haven't picked up the first Mario plus Rabbids game, you definitely should if you like the XCOM game. And the great thing is that it's super cheap right now, so it doesn't really cost that much money. We also got a whole new remake of the original Advance Wars and the second one, which looks really good. The character models specifically look very, very good. I like the art style that they chose for this remake. Now, I myself have never played an Advance War game, but I may just download the emulator for the Game Boy Advance because I think it was back on the Game Boy Advance and play it. Now, moving on to more Zelda related things that were announced at this Nintendo Direct, we have the Age of Calamity DLC. They showed off Link using his new weapons and some cool new enemies, and even Zelda riding a DLC bike from Breath of the Wild 1. Now, according to the trailer, Wave 1 of the DLC, which is called Pulse of the Ancients, is available on June 18th, 2021. Wave 2 is Guardians of Remembrance, which will be available in November of this year. And next up, they announced the Legend of Zelda Mr. Game & Watch handheld, which is for the Zelda 35th anniversary. It includes The Legend of Zelda 2, Link's Adventure, and Link's Awakening, which is the Game Boy version to be specific, plus a Game & Watch game where you play as Link. Now, they also say they have no other plans for any other Zelda games, which means we can pretty much call the Zelda 35th anniversary remasters of Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, and all of those rumors pretty much fake until Nintendo says otherwise. This is why I say in all of my videos that these are rumors or leaks, and they could end up being wrong, so don't get too excited. Last time the Mario 35th anniversary were right, but I guess Zelda was a no-go. But I do have to say, the Metroid and WarioWare leaks were right, which was a nice surprise. So sometimes some are right, sometimes some are wrong. That's just the nature of these things when you talk about them. Some can be wrong and some can be right. But after they dashed the many hopes of many Nintendo fans, they lifted them back up with a new Breath of the Wild 2 trailer, which showed a lot of very cool things in a very short amount of time. They showed the new abilities, the way they expanded exploration, and just the overall graphic fidelity of the game, and the details in the environment look amazing and just jaw-dropping. I mean, look at some of these screenshots. They look really, really, really good. I can't wait to play this game and see all the gameplay that we're going to see whenever they do show us that gameplay. Or more expanded gameplay, I should say. They did show some gameplay in the trailer. Now, the weird thing is that we didn't see one specific game that I was 100% expecting to be there, and that was Bayonetta 3. What happened to this game? We haven't heard anything on it from the developers, nothing at all. We haven't seen any gameplay or even a story trailer. Something weird is going on with Bayonetta 3, and I'm wondering if it's gonna be maybe delayed or something's gonna come out that they're having development problems. I guess we're gonna have to wait to see what they say, but it's weird that it wasn't at E3. Now, there were some other cool announcements like the Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2, Fatal Frame on the Wii U, more Doom DLC for the Switch version of Doom Eternal, and other cool things. Now let's talk about the question, did Nintendo save E3? Well, yeah, pretty much. I think this was a very good Nintendo Direct. They announced a lot of cool new Nintendo Switch games and even gave us a Breath of the Wild 2 trailer. They expanded on games that we already knew about as well, like Shin Megami Tensei 5 and Monster Hunter Rise, while teasing us with new Nintendo Switch games as well, like a new 2D Metroid and a Wario game and a Mario Party game. They set up expectations in that tweet when they announced the Nintendo Direct for E3, with saying mostly in 2021, and that's pretty much what we got. So I give this Nintendo Direct an 8.5 out of 10. There were still some things missing like Bayonetta 3, which was again very weird, but overall it was a fun Direct.